你肯定是要 focus， 就是要集中在一个地方做。
You need to have some very innovative things.
谢谢今天请我过来介绍一下 Bucket。
How do you balance your life?
How do you promote them? Whom you're competing with?
What do you need from me?
为东西人才由梦想舞台及创新大计，欢迎您来到《西游记》，我是主持人丁维平。When other people saying we cannot, and we say why not? Dingding TV is also a startup. For startup, you really need the platform for the startup to show who you are, to show people your dream. That's why we're doing this.
The show will go like this. We will introduce you as the company. Judge will give you an overall voting. This project is fundable or not fundable.
希望就是给我团队和我团队的产品做一个宣传。
I'm actually looking to pick his brain for strategies of how to get into the market.
I hope that the judges will like me, obviously.
我对今天得到评委们的支持还是很有信心的。
当年唐僧带着孙悟空等人吧去西方取经，实际上现在中美的合作已经是互相取经。西游记实际上是把高技术带到中国，同时中国呢又给高技术提供了很多市场。
我们橡子园在这几年都是在帮助这有创业意识的人去创业，希望《西游记》能够鼓励更多的年轻的人能够走进这一步，
希望能够给创业的同仁提供一个新的渠道。
你们心里面有准备，我们就有准备来支持你们。那自己要把自己定位，自己是什么样的人才。你在创业的时候如果你能找少的合作伙伴，而不要找太多的。
The first and foremost is you have to have a good team.
You really have to be passionate about what you are doing.
You have to first go for the people with whom you have chemistry. The starting team define the scalability.
Most important is to be engaged and to listen.
Creativity, optimism, and perseverance. Finding the entry point to leverage yourself.
创业像一首歌，或者说《西游记》这个节目呢，也像一首歌一样，需要坚持你的节奏，知道你的旋律，而且把这个声音呢从内心发出来。
So we'll provide apps for retail stores.
Simplified version.
它还不是一个 spam，
是一个 pocket.
Transfer anything freely.
我觉得能够和这么多非常有经验的这些评委老师有很深入的一个交流，觉得开心。
It is a very good opportunity for me to present our project in front of so many experienced VC.
They give a lot of good comments.
It's very helpful.
Battle Silicon help the Silicon Valley entrepreneurs to connect with the most senior VC angel investors.
It's a very wonderful combination of startup media company, media producers, judges, and also very wonderful contestants.
I think the design of the show is very well suited for entrepreneurs who wants to become successful.
We encourage every startup to come here.
Just follow your dream, to do what you love.
我自己在创业，所以我觉得如果我们能够帮助创业的人，让他这一段路呢，让他不再孤独，让他觉得说有人跟你一起走，然后有好的经验和你一起分享，也有导师帮你提出非常有建设性的建议，这个呢就是我们的初衷啊。
We always complain that why we do not always come to the US.
He instead of her.
Sorry.
Diana Ding, founder and CEO of Silicon Valley Innovation Channel, Dingding TV, Santa Clara County Asian American Hero Award winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Battle Silicon. I'm Diana Ding, and we're so happy and glad in Cyberport. So let's welcome our next startup, Techpacker, Josie Tam, come to the stage.
This is Josie, co-founder of Techpacker Limited. I'm here today to learn how to go to market in the US, because USA is our first and target market.
So Juicy, now you have 3 minutes to tell us about your company.
Okay. My name is Josie Tam, co-founder of Techpacker. I'm sorry today I'm not here for your money, but I really need your help to go to market in the US. Fast fashion has slashed down the fashion cycle from 6 months now to 3 weeks. So it comes to a question, are we now sacrificing quality for time? What happens if we pick a wrong fabric? Are we going to accept the garment even though the quality of the quality is not up to standard? No, not anymore. With Techpacker, we guarantee that no matter how complicated the garment product is, you can make it anywhere in the shortest time. Techpacker is to bring the time and also the quality together as an alliance. We help fashion designers and factories to collaborate closely together in the early design and the later development stage. We are an online platform that can help fashion designers to simply explain the design details to factory online. We have developed a very powerful tool to convert the design specification into some industrial standard blueprints. We call it Techpack. Excuse me, we call it Techpack. So call it Techpack. Okay.
Josie, I really like your passion.
I first have to apologize for my nervousness, and then because it's the first time I'm on TV show, but I can continue.
Yes, please.
So now, because we started to the Techpacks, designer can explain the details online, and also decide to, and sorry, okay, let me forget a strip. Factory can easily understand what the designer explains on the Techpack industry. Because of that, the errors and explanation, all the things can be easily corrected in the early stage. Even though nowadays clarification can be made with a mobile phone. So you may question why Techpacker is qualified to do that. We are a strong team of fashion and IT experts. Our CEO, Cyril, comes from the fashion family background. He has worked for American Eagle Outfitter and also Lian Feng in the production and development area. Our Chief Marketing Officer, Hsieh, has worked for Perry Terrace and also Tory Burch in New York in the trading and merchandising area. And of course, myself, I have worked in IT projects and ERP systems in local garment manufacturer and also fashion trading company. Okay, finding a problem isn't that difficult. However, I believe that Techpacker, I can honestly and proudly to say that Techpacker provide a best fit solution to the industry. Why? Because we have the strong team of expertise plus the web solutions. We are now bringing a radical change to the fashion industry. We help the designer and also the factory to work closely together to make a better business, make a better business, better product, but quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. Thank you. I really admire your passion. And how did you start this Techpacker?
2 years ago, my business partner, Cyril, invited us about sharing his idea, but most likely it's the pain that fashion designers are facing. Most of the time, designers cannot get the proper sample, not because of the quality of the factory. It's because they cannot present the design truly and precisely to the factory in the language that factory can take it and understand how to make the garment. And that's why we study quite a lot of time and to see and talk with the designer, understand the factory. Okay, how can these two different mindset people can work together, communicate together before they make the first sample? That's why we come with a solution, a web solution that enable designer and also factory to work together to make sure that before the first sample garment is made, the sample can match with the expectation of the designer. So it means even though you get the first sample, you get what exactly you want. You don't have to keep wasting your time to repeat the sample. This is how we save the time of the fashion cycle.
Okay, now let's hear Judge's question. Peter.
I usually don't know what to wear when I go out of home. I need my wife to tell me, pick that and pick this. So I'm definitely not a person understanding fashion business, but I do have questions on the business side.
Okay.
I think you have found a pain point, and it seems that you have people from the fashion garment industry,
Exactly.
so they know the dynamics within that
Yes.
industry. What's the entry barrier? Is it technology or understanding of the market? I'm not sure I hear that very clearly. Do you have a unique technology for communication? Can you answer that first question first?
Okay, the most difficult part is not on the technology.
Right.
It spends a lot of time. We need to understand how to make the communication better. It's about the solution on the platform. It's not on implementing the solution.
So is the deliverable something, I'm trying to stretch my imagination, like a CAD system on the internet? Is that something towards that manner?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay, let me tell you something. Whenever you say, let me take a dirty question. When someone tells you your chest is 34 inch, what does it mean by 34 inch on the chest?
I have no idea.
Okay, I will tell you. It is 1 inch down the armhole, measured like that. That is 34 inch. If designer can explain the details in this way, I believe that every factory knows how exactly they can make the things. So the 34 inch is not something like half an inch upper or half an inch down lower. This is what we call the fitting. Why Brooks Brothers can make a better shirt, but not some local brands, because it's the way how to master the fitting and how the way the designer can explain the details for a factory.
What do you think your company is going to look like in 5 or 10 years?
We have to, just like what I say, we wanted to bring the radical change to the fashion industry in 10 years, or 5 to 10 years maybe, because we wanted to say that every factories all over the world, in China, in Asia, can work seamlessly to designer in Europe, in New York, and also in anywhere in the world, as long as in a shorter time. That means to make the turnover quicker and quicker. They spend less time on, going to chase the designer, this is what you want, this is what you explain. No, we just want the factory to spend more resource on the manufacturing process, while designers spend more resource on the design phases.
So it's a natural continuation of what you have today. There's not going to be another major paradigm shift in the platform or product delivery in 5 years, according to your current vision?
Not about a product delivery area. If I understand correctly, we are just focusing on the design and development stage just to reduce the time, shorten the cycle, which is actually has been wasted a lot of time because of the miscommunication.
And the goal, am I trying to guess it correctly, that the goal is such that you become the center for the communication?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Ray?
A few questions. One is in terms of the material verification or garment verification, how they fit together. How much business rules do you have today? What percent, how much can you do quality control based on that in terms of?
When you talk about quality control, are you talking about the actual garment quality control?
No, I'm talking about in terms, because you're doing design and development, right? So that's essentially, you say, I break down the material, essentially a garment or essentially a clothes into multiple pieces, right?
Yeah.
Each one of them, how they, essentially you verify to make sure that they all work supposedly as you designed, right? So I'm trying to figure out is that some core areas of competency in terms of the business rules or understanding of different pieces, how they map into the components, or this is just a byproduct of your platform?
Well, actually, we just make use of we just provide a platform. However, we wanted to, through the platform, to provide some standard. For example, right now we use an innovative card system. You never heard about using a card system on the fashion design. We try to encourage designers to break individual components into this card. However, so that we can apply the standard in individual card, the designer has to follow in the way how to present let's say the material quality, let's say the layout of the design. We try to use this way to encourage designer to follow that, and then convert in a standard Techpack, the documentation, that doing a favor for the factory. Because of that doing a favor, that factory can easily make the garments in a short time. And then it is also an attraction to the designer, why they need to follow the standard. That is, we wanted to implement some standard into the platform.
Sure. Do you monitor that on the manufacturing levels today, or this is purely on the just on the process itself?
Since we just launched the system in March, just like 1 month ago, so right now we are still focusing on the design stage because we don't want to move too quick at the moment without completing the design stage. We have to do it step by step.
Understand. Do you do B2B to B? Because normally a manufacturer may have other sub-manufacturers under it, or I don't know if that's the case. Do you facilitate a community even on the manufacturing side to allow them to aggregate that kind of information back to the designers? Or is that something that you're considering, or this is stop at the manufacturing side?
We understand communication is two-way. I talk with you, you have to feedback to me. That is what we and I are in the same mind. That's why we'll start from designer, because this designer is the initiator or the start of the supply chain cycle. However, whenever I present a design to you, you as a manufacturer, you have to feedback to me before you take any action. Let me take an example. I want to sell a garment like $20 US. I buy from you from $20 US. But if I pick a fabric with a unit price like $15 US, you will definitely reject me, right? I don't want your feedback or answer whenever I confirm all the design. I want your feedback at the early stage. You tell me, okay, Josie, your product is great, but it is not workable. So that I can have time to switch to another source or material at the early stage.
Sure.
That's why we want to bring the communication at the time, designer's design stage.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to solve, because when I was in Cisco, that was the problem we were trying to solve at that time, because a router essentially is multiple components. So essentially each component, one customer do configuration, do they even work together as a chassis, or within that chassis need to be verified, right? That's the component. Yeah. Then it's sent to manufacturers. The manufacturers has to follow a standard process. Essentially that's being monitored. Then they also sublease some of the manufacturing to other factories as well. So essentially it's almost like you said, the marketplace within the marketplace sometimes. Yeah. So that's why, in my mind, there's a lot of synergies in terms of what you're trying to build to what tech industry built about 10 years ago, where I helped them to do that. So that's kind of the reason I was asking some of the workflow questions. Yeah. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then Ted.
Yeah, I actually agree with Ray for once today. So yeah, I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah, I know.
Finally found synergy.
Yeah, finally. I mean, geez. So as I understand it, I think he was kind of asking towards the direction of, so you're not a marketplace, you're essentially a process flow, process management. Okay, got it. And I totally understand where the standardization of the Techpack as a brand and everything. How are you going to get people to use this, right? I think I totally buy into it. So I'm going to inflect some of my own there's some experience. So the last TechSource cohort had one company called Knitton. KNYTTAN, and essentially they built the controllers to knitting software. So they basically both do the process flow management plus the actual manufacturing, or help enable the manufacturing in those particular machines. I think you are process flow, so you're not creating that. I guess really kind of my question is, how do you build that brand, right? How do you get people to buy into this? Is this process flow management software 10x? Is it 10 times better than what's already on the market, right? And even if it's 10x better in the tech, still, what is your go-to-market strategy? How do you get people to sign up?
Okay, I have
That's
to...
all. That's the only question.
I clarify my question. Your question first is how do we actually make sure that our idea or the project works, right? The second thing is how to market. Okay, go to the first question. We actually have conduct demo. Before we have implemented the system, we have talked with a lot of designers. We have the prototype last year and work with the designer and come up with today's solution. Even though from March to up to now, we have talked with and even demo with more than 40 designers from all over the world. Local, America, Europe, even in Brazil. Demo means we have a talk with them like 30 minutes. We record how they use the system. And of course, all the recording is uploaded to our own system. We study what stopped them. We get the feedback. We ask questions, okay, if you're going to pay for us, how much you're going to pay for us? Are you using this system? And all the feedback is positive because the number is not small. It's like more than 50 designers. So the second thing is how to go to the market. Honestly, it's the reason why I'm here. That's why at the beginning I say I wanted to learn how to go to market. Because our target is small brand or individual designer, which is actually scattered in different places. It's not big brands. So to us, it's a startup. We have limited resource in terms of money and people. How can we do the marketing strategy in customer acquisition and customer retention in a very strategic way that we can use limited resource to reach these scattered party. That is why I'm here to learn, instead of I can answer you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
one more
maybe,
question.
I
Okay,
mean,
yes.
Well, in the sense you're asking the question, so maybe I'll try to give a response. So thank you for being honest. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, so I guess one way to think about it, I think we talked about it once. I think it's school strategies is always a great one. So design schools. So in New York, FIT, in London, St. Martin. I think that's a great kind of growth hack. Maybe try to get into the smaller brands somehow. Maybe get a mid-tier brand to buy into your software as well and start using it as part of their process flow, and then that way they can start teaching other people and have it go through the entire supply chain. You kind of need that, right, for it to go into the entire supply chain. And I think it's a process of maybe identifying 3 or 4 different tactics and then trying it out to see what's the most effective. I don't have an answer right now, but I think that's the framework in which I would probably do something.
Because right now.
Yes, yeah. This section is off, and we're going to see their vote on your business plan. 3, 2, 1. Wow! Congratulations. It's great. Okay, Josie, let's come into EQ session, and we got 1 number left.
Number 1.
Guess so. That's the only choice you have.
Number 1.
Number 1. Yes, you are the number 1. Great.
Thank you.
See the question, Dr. Lee.
I just want to comment one thing, is that my mentor basically say perfect presentation is boring. So today I see you practice, I see your strength, I really love it.
Thank you.
And this question, I think you would be just fine, but it's a tricky question. Okay, your buyers say to you, I don't trust you. So what do? You said, you're right, you do not have enough information to trust me. Second choice, how can I make you trust me more? C, tell me about why you do not trust me. D, none of the above.
Can I mix answer?
Yes.
I would like to do D and also some of C. D means I will first invite him or her for a cup of coffee. Because somehow if I keep on saying, why don't you trust me, and how I can make you trust me, someone pushing him. I will invite him or her to a very relaxing environment, have a chat first. Try to make her relax or him relax. And then try to start with a discussion, hey, yeah, I know I can hardly make you trust me at the moment, but it's not so bad to don't trust, right? Tell me more.
Wow.
But if he or she doesn't have time for coffee, and what do you do?
Wow. Make another appointment.
This is a people person. I was observing you. You were practicing, but you were paying attention to your surrounding. You're right. The very first answer is most salesperson, like, you're right, but that's a little bit fake. You do not have enough information, trust me. And B, how can I make you trust me more, is paying attention. Pay attention to me. I need you to trust me. That takes away the attention. And tell me why you do not trust me. It's a little bit pressing. So yes, that's a D, tricky question. Let's build relationship. Let's talk, and let me spend some time more to get to know you, so you get to know me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's see judges vote for your EQ session. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Josie. It's great. So you have 2 to choose one of the judge for your questions.
Number 5.
Number 5, that's Leslie. So your question is?
Cool. You're from Silicon Valley, and we actually wanted to, expand the market in U.S. However, our partner is only one person in New York. So how can we actually, to really go to someone, make a strategic partnership, just like what you explained, right? However, we are small potato. We are not a known brand. How can we persuade them that, okay, partner with us? We benefit to the fashion designer.
Yeah. You noted about the limitation. You don't have the resources, which is good, because a lot of startups will say, I can do this and that and that and that, and they have no money and they have no people. How can you do that? I really like the way that you understand and accept your limitation. That is number 1, right? However, I do believe that because of your domain knowledge expertise in the garment factory,
I think you know a lot better than the networking about the industry inside out. I would say that any of the judges here on the panel, in terms of that domain knowledge expertise. I like the idea that you already gone through the market research. It's not thing like pulled from the thin air. You went for 40 designers all around the world. You really took their feedback and improved your product. And you're solving a problem that shortened the time from 6 months to 2 months?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Oh my God, this is already a great value proposition you can put onto the table. With your credibility, that I believe, that you know exactly what you are doing. I would continue on your market research program into a channel development program. Matching with the school, the fashion design is one, and I'm sure that you know a lot of conferences and network, meet up on your particular domain knowledge expertise without spending a lot of money. Your credibility will shine. I think, that is how I would, get your market research to the next level, the channel marketing partner. You yourself cannot do it all, right? And you need to partner with some, I don't know how many designers that you have pick and choose in the US. You need to continue to bring them into the next level. Now, Kate, will you use my product? Will you recommend my product? Will you tell it? This is a small world for the fashion designer. You're not solving $1 billion, client base, if you will. And set your goal, if you're 40 and you have 100, you have 200, I think you already cornered that market. In particular, you are solving a real problem. So that's my advice to you.
Thank you.
Wow, Juicy, we couldn't wait to see you in Silicon Valley.
Thank you.
Yes, so regarding the 西游记, so who do you think you are and why?
I'm the monkey.
You're
Because
the
I'm
monkey,
full of
yes.
the energy and the strength and weakness you can see. And the monkey is actually, he keep on making mistakes, however, he fix it quickly, just like how you see me today. However, to me, COD is not just one person, it's about a team.
Yes.
I have the CEO as the monk.
That's great. Let's invite your CEO to the stage. Please sit down here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
He's
you.
the monk. He just keep reminding the team, okay, this is the goal, this is the goal, this is what we are going to solve. Even though we go somewhere away, he will just say, okay, this is the goal, this is the goal. If I make the mistake, he will say, okay, Josie, stop it. Just like a 紧箍咒. So I think COG is not just one person, it's about a team.
Yes,
Thank
very good. Thank you so much, Juicy. So you know the story about Monkey King? You know that?
I know the Three Kingdoms. I read the first part, and that's
Not the
yeah.
story.
Somehow I
That's
couldn't
not
follow
really is, but it's okay. It's good enough. Okay, so do you have any questions to ask our judge?
Yes. So I think for us as a startup, yes, it's our first venture, and we are learning through the process. We do make mistakes, and then we, go forward. One thing I have realized while doing this is, customer acquisition hasn't been that difficult for us because, the solution that we are fighting against is Excel or, Illustrator. So we are actually trying to bring them off from that. So that's not the difficult part, it's the retention part where, because since it's only a Techpack making, because it's a seasonal product, that they will come, use it, and come next season, use it, come next season. So there's a wide gap in between. So this is where our, where we have to see now from here to the next direction is how to build that retention within that customers so that they keep coming back. So through your experiences, I guess if you came across business models like us, like Tech, you were mentioning about the knit solution. Did they ever figure out what the retention model would be?
No, but so they're operating more as a marketplace. So instead of a process management or a flow management, it's just a marketplace. So another business I was thinking about is Listable, actually, Lystable, which also graduated last cohort, and theirs was actually very similar, but for design. So for design agency, that type of work. So a lot of instead of Excel, big Dropbox files, it's all in one flow management piece of software. So in regards to your point about retention, I think totally I can see that it's very seasonal type of business. Just the top of my head, maybe. Maybe there's a couple of different things. Maybe you try to target the brands that actually have a little bit more fast fashion, right? So they actually have to do more of this kind of just-in-time thing rather than just one season or 2 times a season. So I don't know what brands, but that type of particular customer segment. Another thing is maybe you kind of focus on other segments of the fashion industry. So not only on the design side, but on the kind of manufacturing side as well, right? So the way I'm kind of saying this is you can do education on the fashion side, on the design side, but there's also an education component on the manufacturing side. So maybe focus more on the manufacturing side as well during the off times. So because the way I'm thinking is if the manufacturers also say, I want things in a Techpack format. I don't want any other type of format. I want Techpack. That's also reinforcing your brand, right? So maybe those are the 2 different areas you might want to focus on.
Okay. Yes, Ray, you want to make some comments?
Yeah, I do. I was thinking that from component-wise, I think from different layers, right? So as the content, platforms, and services, maybe, right? There could be more. But what can you add to different tiers so that they will come back always, right? So platform, they may use it once, but they may also look for other design, for example. They may have a design library and they can extract into their system, right? That could be one area. It could be service contract management, right? It could be other services they can use, right? And there's other pieces. So I would say, first of all, break down into different layers of offering that you can have. Now each layers could be multiple components that you can add to it, so that it give you what you need, a recurring revenue, right? You essentially continue recurring months over months, regardless of what happens, they'll continue to pay you and always come back to you, right? So you need to find a way to always keep them onto your platforms. So it doesn't matter you're providing a service for maybe a very low-level labor services or very high-level kind of designing services, somewhere, or a component a content component that they can reuse all the time. Doesn't matter what it is, try to keep them onto your platform all the time, right? So think about different layers. In terms of Josie, originally when you talk about the U.S. expansion, something I was thinking of is that potentially you can try, in Asia it may not be that popular, but in U.S. it's SEO, SEM. I think that's the cheapest. The keyword research, figure out, because you're very targeted a set of keywords people are researching. What's the problem set, right? Find out that problem set, find the key keywords, and then just expand on that. Your website need to be designed very clearly to describe that problem so that when you find it organically, you can find you. SEM-wise, just target on those keywords that bring you the best bang for the buck, right? Test out different channels, test out different kind of sequence in terms of how you get to land to the customers. And then some of the local associations tend to be very good as well. I wouldn't just figure out a way to get some meetings, but then as a sponsor, sometimes that's actually you may spend the same amount of money, but as a sponsor, bring you a level to a much higher level versus just becomes one of the presenters. So maybe go in and says, I will sponsor a wine tasting, whatever, right? A local commerce department, a local designer club, right? Just go in there as one of the sponsors. Because it's very targeted. The good thing about your industry is very targeted. People know each other. Word of mouth will spread, right? The key is just get to the right people and convince them you're the best product. Everything else, I think will fly.
Well, Ray mentioned about sponsored event. We are the organizer for Silicon Valley Food and Art Festival. It's a 1,000 people event happening in the Apple's company city, Cupertino. So I would like to talk to you guys to see how can we help you. So actually, we haven't seen Jack's vote. Just vote first, then we're going to have Peter to make some comment. Let's see your overall voting. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Yeah. I'm so happy. Yeah, it's great. So Peter, your comment.
I actually have one comment, which is a continuation of my question to Josie first, about what your company wants to be in 5 years. But that question actually is trying to answer or address your question later. I can sense this is a seasonal business. So in any business that I have seen that are seasonal or that have a higher gross margin business part, you always will want to try to find a lower gross margin business part, which provides you with a more steady cash flow, that you know when the customer is going to pay you, and you know how that can feed all your employees. So you want to find a steady part. I do not know in your business what that is, but I urge you to dissect your business into two parts. One is the higher gross margin. The other is lower gross margin, but much more steady. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I would urge you to think, now that you have most of the designers around, using Leslie's comment that these are your seed customers, grow on top of them. Next thing you want to consider is how you can help them make more money, not just on the design and manufacturing phase, but also in the selling phase. Maybe one of these days you can become a marketplace, which will hopefully provide you with a steadier cash flow in your business.
Okay.
Thank you.
Catherine, do you have any comment on this?
Honestly, all the judges asked my questions.
Because you know fashion, I can tell that.
But I do really agree Peter's suggestion, because I think at the next stage, you should try to help the young designers to generate money. That's the key thing, actually. When you help the others, actually you are helping yourself. So Taobao is a very good example, because they help very small enterprise to do business on the platform. That's why many users try to get on that platform. That's why you now get all the designers' content, and you got the manufacturers' content. Maybe you can suggest you can do both business with them. Suggest the designer to work with which manufacturer and bargain the price and get commissions, something like that, and help the young designers to get into the market as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine is not only investing on the movies, she also invested some IT companies in Cyberport. Though she looks so young, but she's really, yes, great. Josie, I'm so inspired by you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. You know, I see your determination, your integrity, your direct, and your personality is so inspiring.
Thank you.
I'm so admire of what you guys do.
I feel proud of it.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shall we shake hands, right?
Yes, sure.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Wayne. The show is really great, especially in the Q&A session that we have so much interaction with the judges. We have learned how to go to the market, what are the future potential business model that we can consider for the company. Well, honestly, just like at the beginning, I said I wanted to go to the US market. That is, we hope the Battle Silicon can bring Techpacker to US. Thank you.
Each time we have our Battle Silicon show, we are touched and inspired by the stories from those startups, especially when I see the women entrepreneurs. I got so touched, because as an entrepreneur ourselves, we know how hard it is. You have to survive. You have your goal, you have your dream, but you have to survive. And all the way, it's like up and down. You have to handle your emotions. But I think we are lucky enough. Like we started Battle Silicon, and we built up this platform and brought the good people together and helping each other, and to identify the dreams come true. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cyberport. Thank you, Hong Kong, and thanks all the judges and our production team. Thank you all. Yes, but before we finish, and we still like to hear our judges' comment, because you already have 4 teams. So we are going to start with Dr. Wei-Qian Lee. And how do you feel about today?
It's always a learning opportunity. You see people's dream, you see people trying and learning from the judges, and they present all different styles. And for me, it's a wonderful, wonderful learning opportunity. And the food of Hong Kong and the people of Hong Kong, of course. Hope next time I can learn to say, instead of say gong, I can say something.
That's great, Ted.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to just thank everybody. I think it's been a wonderful opportunity. I think these judges have been absolutely fantastic. Everyone's been fantastic. But the entrepreneurs, I mean, they're the ones that are taking the risks. I mean, we have the easy job of being able to stay here and talk. So I just want to send a massive congrats to the entrepreneurs. To even just come up here and tell us what you're doing is not easy, and I really do respect you all for doing that.
Tech, thank you. I think that your job is not easy at all. All you guys actually use your life experience. It's accumulated for so many years, coming here all the way to help the entrepreneurs. I'm really an admirer of that, Ray.
Thanks, Diana, for inviting me here. I had a great time. Watching so many, I say, great startups coming from Hong Kong is truly inspiration. We've been doing a lot of kind of investment in China and the US, so first time looking through startup in Hong Kong, I think the quality are great, people are excellent, so I do think that this is a very worthwhile trip for me to make, and had a great time here. Thanks.
Thank you. And Peter, thank you, Peter, for travel all the way from Taiwan and come to our show.
Thank you. This has been a great experience. I'm happy and delighted to be serving on this panel with people here and also our great and beautiful MC here. I've done roughly 7 years of venture capital investment in Silicon Valley and 9 years in China and 2 years in Taiwan now. This is the first time I come here to learn from the Hong Kong entrepreneurs. I think it has been a great experience. Before I came here, the thought was Hong Kong, you have multiple people. Even in terms of English, you can sense people with Hong Kong style English, American style English, or British style English. So this is United Nations here. With all different types of ingredients, I believe, just like food, you have fusion food that creates beauty. So, and looking at today's startup companies, I have the feeling that a lot of entrepreneurs have the heart and the vision, and the company you're trying to build may one day become a multinational company. And that's my next decade of my mission, is to help companies doing that. The reason is very simple. If you look at Lenovo, we all know it's a Chinese company. But if you look at Wikipedia on Lenovo, it has 2 headquarters. One in Beijing, the other is actually in Northern Carolina. So I think companies out of Hong Kong may today be headquartered here, but you never know, in 10 years, you will be a multi-international company. Just like the last company, we have a CEO, you definitely did not grow up here, right? So I think you have a great chance to, with proximity to a lot of other Asian countries, to China, the great market, and also a lot of people that are European or US educated and also are living here. I think the Cyberport project is extremely meaningful, and I'm honored to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter. Peter mentioned you have almost 20 years of investment experience, but you look so young. That must be the dream. Yes, so Catherine.
I'm from Hong Kong, so I speak Hong Kong style English. Actually, I'm new, I'm young, I'm also startup. I'm probably almost similar age from the contestants. So it must be very nervous to stand up on the stage. But my family business is a traditional property business. But I realized that the market is changing. People are no longer watching TV. They don't watch movie in the cinema. Everyone using mobile devices. This is the trend of investing IT business. It's my honor to be here, and I saw the need of this industry growing. I'm very honored to be here, and I hope I have chance to visit Silicon Valley. Thank you.
Thank you,
for inviting
Catherine.
me.
Thank you so much, and we are so honored to have you, and we hope we can have you back and in Silicon Valley. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Yeah, as you can see that I am the only person who have white hair on the panel. And I tell you, I have been doing cross-border go-to-market for the last 30 years. Been seen a lot, led a lot of Silicon Valley delegation into China and globalization and whatnot. We are here the third time. I have seen the quality of the team improvement, very obvious. People are very confident. They have good project, good team. And I can say that the quality that we see it here today can benchmark with a lot of high-profile startup communities in the world, including the Silicon Valley, I have to say. You have technology innovation, business model innovation, e-commerce, and design, and the like. And I wish you all the best. It's not an easy job to be an entrepreneur, but I think Hong Kong has what it gets to become successful. And again, thank you for inviting us. And don't forget the presenting teams. We have a group picture after this. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Leslie is also the co-producer of Better Silicon. We started this in 2013, and we do see the meaning of what we're doing. Actually, he came here earlier, 2 weeks earlier, to arrange everything to make sure this event is successful. And we really want to thank Leslie and also the Hong Kong team, Chris, and everybody here in the room, production team. Sam, thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, I'm Diana Ding. I'm the founder and CEO of Ding Ding TV and also the producer of Better Silicon. And Leslie Yuan is the co-producer of Better Silicon. And we're so honored to come to Hong Kong. And today's Better Silicon is really special.
Yeah, I have to say that not only very special, but also it covers the whole range of either from technology innovation for inscription, business model for fashion design, and also the education platform. And I'm just very, very impressed with that, and also the music for the lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right. I'm also very impressed by the women entrepreneurs. We see two really remarkable ladies. Such a great inspiration.
Yeah, and this is a reflection of the Hong Kong being a very diversified city, not only in terms of female women entrepreneur, but also you have people from Hong Kong local, from China, and all around the world. Basically, I think this is the key element, this is the key culture of success for a startup.
Yeah, that's right. And also we're so honored to have Mr. Gregor Su to come and kick off for us.
Yeah, and of course, this is a very important. Greg always impressed by his inspiration and by his encouragement. So again, we thank you for Cyberport. Thank you for OGCIO and Greg in particular coming and support us.
Yeah, exactly. And we had lots of phone conference with Hong Kong Cyberport. I can see they're very professional and really, take their work very seriously.
Yeah, obviously in Cyberport, as I said, that this is our third time, and I think we have seamless execution for all the show from planning to the day off and until the last minute. I think they are very, very professional, and thankful for that.
Yeah, exactly. And we started this show in 2013, and each time we come to Hong Kong and we see the great entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and not only that, and as I said earlier, the people are very passionate about it. And also Cyberport in particular is owned by the Hong Kong government. And they really put in a lot of resources in helping the startup, which they need the most. Funding, mentorship, business matching, and connection to the world, like a platform like Better Silicon. They are all really helping the startup. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah, I'm really also very impressed by that. And thanks to Hong Kong and thanks to Cyberport, we are so honored to come to Hong Kong.
Yes, thank you. We hope to see you next time.
Yeah, see you next year.
西游记合作单位包括向子源、长城企业战略咨询、凤凰视频、蔚源科创、Plug and Play、中关村硅谷创投、A New Domain、香港数码港、东方之星视讯网、 蓝屏集创。